Hello and welcome to Life with Jane. Right, we are on our 6th recipe with this one small chicken. I'm just going to turn this back on because I've just softened some onions because we don't want to have those. And these are just some onions that I had over, so a couple of onions that I've just put in there. That's the rest of the chicken, or the last of the chicken. So all I've done is I've diced it and it's going to go into another dish which will feed 4. So this chicken has done 6 meals. Well, the stock cube was 5 good meals out of one small chicken, and each meal would feed a family of 5, so a family of 4 rather. So yeah, so my onions are cooked. I'm going to add, I've got some carrot which I've grated, and as I said to you, carrot is a great filler, particularly if you've got family and people who aren't very keen on vegetables and things, because a carrot can literally, just if it's grated, will go into the dish and literally you won't be able to taste the carrot itself, but it works really well. So I'm stirring that in. They will cook for 3 or 4 minutes, each one of them. I'm going to put my chicken in because that needs to be cooked right through. So putting all of that chicken in. And then I've got, that's the jar, sun-dried tomatoes. So a jar of sun-dried tomatoes. Now I've kept all of the, I've chopped them. So I've chopped them like that. I've left all of the oil on. I'm not going to use all of it, but I need to take a clean spoon so I can then use the oil afterwards. But it's flavoured, so it will work quite nicely, and also I want a little bit more oil in here. So I'm putting them on. There's a few capers in there as well, which are quite nice. So it gives some flavour. So you can see I am adding quite a bit of the oil in there, but not all of it, I don't think. I'm going to stir it up first and see. I might add all of it because, as I say, it's got lots of flavour in it. Okay, so let's have a look and see on this. No, I think that's probably enough. I don't want it to be too greasy. You can see how that's going down, so I can get my spoon in. Right, you can see how it's really coming in nicely like that. And then all I'm going to do is to allow this to cook for 5 or 6 minutes, I think, probably, until it's reduced down a bit, and then we'll come back for the next stage. So I'm just going to allow this to cook down nicely, and then we can go back, we can go to the next part. Just looking to see if I need to add any more of the oil. I don't think I do, because I don't want it to be greasy. So I'm going to leave that for, say, 5 or 10 minutes to just all cook through, and I will be back. Hello, right, so it's had 5 to 10 minutes, and you can see that everything's softened down nicely. Now we need to add some thickening. So I've got some corn flour, or cornstarch if you're in America, and I've got a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I've just added it to some water, and I've got some chicken stock in here, and I've got some herbs and spices. So I'm going to put some garlic pepper, because I like garlic pepper, So probably about half a teaspoon of garlic pepper, like that. Some mixed herbs, and again I take the top off because I quite like, again, about a teaspoon of mixed herbs. We want some salt, again probably about half a teaspoon, and then I can mix that in there. Then we've got the chicken stock, and I've made it up to just under half a pint. So I'm just going to add that in. I'm going to add half of it in to start off with, to just see how much that is thickening it. Yes, it will take it all. So that's half a pint of the chicken stock. Put that in there like that. And then what I need to do is wait for that to come back up to the boil again, and turn it up just a little bit. And then I'm just going to thicken it with the corn flour. I'm just going to mix that in like that. Thicken it nicely. And see how it goes from being cloudy to being clear. Turn that and mix that all in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let this cool and freeze it, because it will make 4 portions easily. You could probably squeeze it to 5 or 6 portions, you know, if you didn't make it too much. I need to turn that down a bit just to allow the corn flour to come through. I might actually just thin it out a little bit. I've got the kettle, so I can just put just a little bit in. I don't want it too thick, so maybe not quite a tablespoon of corn flour, but again, you can see you can always sort of thin it and thicken it as you go. It's very difficult to do exact measurements because, you know, sometimes things thicken more, sometimes things don't thicken as much. So I'm just adding this in, as you can see, to just give it, because I want it to have a reasonable amount of sauce with it. Now, you could do this with mashed potatoes and vegetables. You could do it with pasta. You could do it with rice. You could do it with anything you really wanted. You could put it with, put some Mexican spices in on top and have it with tortillas. You could have it in wraps. You could do all sorts with it. This is just basically the base, and as you can see, there's lots of it. So this is the 6th dish that we've done with this chicken, which again will feed 4 comfortably. If I take that into 4, you know, you're talking about a good, as say, I'll probably divide it into 5 or 6 portions for me. But you know, healthy appetites, 4 easily. You could get it in a little bit more. So I'm going to leave it like that for you, because you don't need to see anymore, because I'm going to put it in the freezer. I'm not going to be eating it now because I can't eat all of the things that I've done with this one small chicken. But just to show you that, you know, if you are careful with the chicken and use every single scrap of it, you can make some really nice tasty meals. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.